this guy. This the new project on the channel. But first things first, as you can see right up here, the Rabbit is gone. We sold that a couple days ago, actually. We'll throw a little picture that I took as it was leaving here. But so now we got the G6 up. We actually just had somebody come look at that also, so maybe we'll be selling that soon. But today's episode is about the Pathfinder. So what we've got here is a pretty major leak out from underneath it. So what I did was I went and I got some brake fluid, filled up the reservoir, and as you can see, once again empty. So I filled it up, I got in and I pumped the brakes to try to bleed it out, and all I could hear was squirting. So what was happening was we have a leak back here of brake fluid. I assume it's the brake line that runs over the tunnel, or over the pumpkin on the rear differential. So what we need to do is we need to get up there and take a look to see where this is coming from. So what we're going to do is we're going to get that taken care of today in this episode. So what we're going to do is I'm going to jack this side up. We'll throw a jack stand under it, and we will get this wheel off. We'll take this wheel off, and we will use our new creeper to check it out. So with that being said, let's get underneath that of it and see where our leak is coming from. Well, it looks like we found the culprit. Hold on. Where am I looking here? Alright, give her a shot. Perfect. Alright guys, so here is our issue. So, when I unscrewed this, it was so rusted through, I don't know if it's focusing or not, but it was so rusted through that it literally just twisted that off. So what we did is we just took this section, because this is actually the hose, or the brake line that runs from the front of the vehicle to the back of the vehicle. So it's very long, and there's a lot of stuff you got to get out of the way to be able to get the whole line in there in one shot. So I cut it here because the line is still good up to that point with this coating. And what I did is I went and I picked up a small section of line, and and it's actually flared already to the right sizes on both sizes. So I'm going to replace this section with that. We'll do some bending of our own. And I also picked up some other fittings here to help us mount those in. So what we've got is this one will replace this here, and then the only thing we're going to have to do is flare this guy onto the line that's currently running to the front, so that we can mount this into this, and then the other side of this to this, and then this will go back into our block that's currently under there. So we should be good to go as far as parts and to get this brake system back together, because I'd really like to take this for a spin up the road. Yesterday also, actually, which I will show you guys, we also picked up a battery, brand new battery, and we actually also went to the dealership and got the Immobilizer reprogram. So I went to the junkyard and picked up a new one of these. It was, I think, $5 or $10. It's a used one out of another Pathfinder, so they reprogrammed it to the key and to the ECU of this car, which is perfect. So we just got to put this back together, which is just a couple screws. So when we get this brake line figured out, we'll get that buttoned up. We'll take her for her first test drive, and then that should wrap up this video. So let's get that brake line put in and see how much bending we got to do to get it to fit, because what I don't want to do is have to cut this line because it's already machine flared. So I know those two flares are good, so I only want to have to make one good flare. So let's get this section in here installed and whatnot, and then we will start working our way back. I think that's the best way to go. So let's do that. I'm not sure how much you can see under here. Let's see if I can get a better angle for you. But we have our little piece is bent in there. It's right there. It's bent. Now we need to get this piece. It has that coating on it. So what we need to do is we need to take a razor blade and cut away at that coating enough to where we can get the nut or the fitting on there and have enough room to flare it also. So we're probably gonna have to cut it back 2 inches or so. So it's pretty tough stuff, so it's gonna take a minute to do that. I'm not gonna bore you guys with cutting any of that, so I will get back with you guys and give an update when I've got that done. May just go ahead and flare it too. There's plenty of how-to videos on how to flare that are way easier to see than in here in this confined space. So with that being said, I will catch you guys in a few. Alright guys, so please ignore my crappy quality, lack of light and shakiness, but we have our little adapter piece in, we've got our wire or our line bent, and everything I've double checked and is tight. So the only thing left to do now is to put fluid in the system and see if we have any leaks. So I'm going to fill up the system, I'm going to pump it, try to bleed out as much as I can, and then we will probably have to go to each corner of the vehicle, bleed the brakes, and hopefully we've got no more leaks. So that's the only thing left to do. So let's throw some fuel or some fluid in the system and see if we have any leaks here, because I did flare that one on my own. So let's see if we've got any leaks, and if not, we'll go move on to bleeding the brakes. Alright guys, and just like that, we've got our fluid topped off. It's right at the max line. We bled the brakes, and we got that piece all fixed up, so we should be good to go. Next, after we pick up our mess, we are going to get this center console put all back together, and then should be the first startup on camera for you guys of this vehicle. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. We can go over the mileage, even though it should have about that much mileage right there. So yeah, we will get this back together. Should just take a minute or two, and then from there we'll give it the first startup, and that should wrap up the video. So let's get to putting this back together. So we got our steering column all put back together. I'm not sure. I'm sorry for the lighting. All I got is the interior light in here.